It was hard for him to focus on anything other than the memory of her touch on his newly shaven body. He couldn't stop thinking about her smile at his erection and her gentle, sensitive fingers. Of course, that made him hard all over again, which was extremely awkward. Every time he passed Julie or talked to her in the workroom, she flashed a little smile that seemed designed to set him off again. It was like she knew just what she was doing to him. It was not overtly flirtatious, on the surface being completely professional, but it was fairly close to the line. He could barely feel pressure through his diaper, but that didn't keep him from trying to put some surreptitious pressure on himself when he could. Ordinarily, in this situation, he might excuse himself and head to the bathroom for just a few minutes to take care of the situation, but that was now apparently off the table. He felt frustrated, and comforted himself thinking about how he would be able to make himself more comfortable after work. But that seemed like a long way off. At 9:30, Julie caught him in between rooms, teddy bear cup in hand. She didn't say anything, but held it out to him expectantly. It was still full. He reluctantly accepted it and sipped a little, handing it back with a very small smile. "Thanks," he said half-heartedly. She didn't accept it back. "Nice try," she said, smirking. "Drink up." He set his laptop down and tried not to glare at her. He stood in the hall, sucking water through the straw, until he sucked air. At this point, she beamed, whispering, "Good boy. I'll see you later," looking at his diaper meaningfully. He shook his head and went in with his next patient. Within an hour, his bladder was begging for relief. He was able to hold off until 11, but decided to pee a little into his diaper to make himself comfortable enough to finish the morning. He walked nonchalantly into the workroom, pretending to look at a chart. He had just about relaxed enough to start peeing when Julie entered. Seeing him there, she strode over and cupped his crotch. "Nothing yet, huh? Is that why you're back here? Did you duck in here to pee in your diaper?" He reddened. He had hoped for some privacy. "I do have to go, but I can wait if you need something." She smiled a little. "Oh, no, I don't need anything." She stood silently, a little knowing smile playing across her face. He glanced around, nervously. "Is there a reason you like to be here for this? It's a little weird. Not to mention that it makes it harder to go." She folded her arms. "I'm not sure why it should bother you. It is a natural bodily process. We're both medical professionals. Also, one of the principal benefits of your diaper is that you can go right in public. Seems like most people would love that feature. So why not take advantage of that?" He still looked dubious, but she seemed like a lawyer who had wrapped up a case. He had always been shy about the bathroom. He even hesitated using urinals in a crowded men's room. Wouldn't most people feel awkward in this situation? Didn't he have a right to pee in private? "I really like to be alone sometimes. Would you mind waiting for me outside?" She studied him. "Yes, I mind. You gave up the right to privacy. You proved you can't be trusted in the potty by yourself. You've lost your potty privileges. So, I don't feel any need to honor your dignity by having to inconvenience myself so you can be alone." She paused. "And, I have to admit that I enjoy your embarrassment a little bit. It seems so silly to be hung up about peeing in front of me, so I feel like we should get you past that. Why not today?" Her seemingly rational and unsympathetic approach exasperated him, as did her willingness to talk about things that should be private. If there was anything that might be worse than peeing in front of her, it would be talking about his bathroom functions. She seemed to recognize this, and even enjoy it. But the joy she was taking seemed friendly rather than malicious. She really did seem interested in helping him, even as she forced him to do things that were embarrassing. So he closed his eyes as he had done before and concentrated on relieving himself, pretending he was alone. He was able, after a moment, to relax enough to pee, and he drained some of his bladder. He stopped himself before he was done, however, because he didn't want to be so wet that he might leak. He opened his eyes, expecting that she might have left again. But this time she was still standing in front of him, arms folded, eyebrows raised, with eyes that shifted between his face and his diaper.